Well, we are back again with another episode of Cook and Eat Singapore.
Yep.
So, every time I come into the studio, every time we are going to do this cooking show, I'm always very excited because, I don't only learn how to cook, I don't only learn about new terms in the kitchen, I also get to eat what we cook. After these several episodes, I think, my calories level are like really, really high. That's different, most chef I know looks like him. No, maybe it's an occupational hazard.
But there's also a term, never trust a skinny chef.
Exactly, because if you don't eat what you cook, something must be very wrong with the food, right?
I agree.
So today, we are going to again showcase and present to all of you another one of the top of the fair food in Singapore. And in fact, actually in a lot of countries, they also have this particular dish.
Yes.
But in Singapore or in some of these Asian countries, like even in Malaysia, we actually call this dish Char Kway Teow. And if you want to know more about the dish itself, what is Char Kway Teow? I'm speaking like a foreigner. Actually in Singapore, we call it Char Kway Teow.
Yeah.
So let my good friend, the beautiful Sophia, tell us more about Char Kway Teow.
Char Kway Teow is a popular noodle dish from maritime Southeast Asia, notably in Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, and Brunei. In Hokkien, char means stir-fried, and kway teow refers to flat rice noodles. The dish is considered a national favorite in Malaysia and Singapore. This dish may have its roots in Chaozhou in China's Guangdong province and is mostly associated with the Teochew. In the past, it was usual to stir-fry char kway teow in pork fat lard without eggs, which were, however, available on request. More recently, ordinary cooking oil is commonly used for health or religious reasons, and eggs have become a standard ingredient in the dish. Cannot wait to see how it is prepared. Over to you, Jason and Chef Alfie.
Wow, thanks Sophia. Sophia always gave us so many information about the origins of a dish or the story behind it. And after a few times, it always seems that the dish is created out of maybe necessity or created out of the immigrants or
Early immigrants.
Yeah, early immigrants. And it also seems that sometimes there's a lot of mixture of the ingredients. Maybe they don't find it there, but when they move to Southeast Asia, they see it in Southeast Asia and they introduce this into the dish.
Yeah. So some of the ingredients have been involved. Some things they might not find it back in the homeland, but over here they mix and match, and I guess later on it became a national dish in time.
Right. And I think Char Kway Teow is actually one of the most popular dish in Singapore.
Yes, it is.
Right. And in all hawker centers, coffee shops, almost all, I think 99%, you will see a store selling Char Kway Teow.
Definitely.
Right. So, to prepare Char Kway Teow, of course, we need to know what's the ingredient in the Char Kway Teow. So, chef, please enlighten me and enlighten us.
Alright, first things first, to do char kway teow or stir-fried flat rice noodles.
Right. So, Char Kway Teow is stir-fried, right?
Stir-fried.
Okay, stir-fried. Char means
Stir-fried.
stir-fried.
Kway teow is flat rice noodles.
Right, because in English itself, char, means burnt.
But
Okay. So basically, in Char Kway Teow, you have to burnt it a little, right?
yes, based on wok hei again.
I see. So we will go there in just a bit, but right now, chef, I see that we have prepared some of the ingredients here, and pardon me for saying this. This is what they call the Chinese sausage.
Yes, lap cheong.
Lap cheong.
Yeah.
Alright?
Traditionally, it's always pork,
Right.
but
right.
in this version, we are making it friendly for everybody to eat. So this is actually chicken Chinese sausage.
Wow. Chicken Chinese sausage.
Yeah.
So as all of you can see,
It's
it is like a
Wax is very waxy.
waxed sausage.
Yeah.
You're right.
And with a little bit of spice, and you tried it.
And I think the reason why they have such a sausage before was to preserve it for a longer period of time.
Yes.
Ah. And it smells really interesting. I mean, I've had this before, but naturally I had those that was made from pork. Yeah.
So this is halal, is chicken.
Okay.
So we cut it diagonally, and it comes like this. So we need
Right.
about one piece of it. So you can buy this usually in any supermarket in Singapore.
Right.
If
Right.
you're overseas, usually in the Asian section.
The Asian section or the Asian supermarkets. Yeah. I think most countries they have like, you know, the Thai supermarket or the Asian supermarket.
Or just go to a Chinatown, definitely.
Chinatown, definitely. Yeah, you're definitely right.
Definitely they have it.
Right, right.
Alright? And then we have some prawns which has been peeled. So I'm using tiger prawns.
Right.
And parboiled. Parboiled means pre-boiled.
Another term for me to remember. Parboiled.
So what I did was, if you don't want to boil it, you just have to remove the shells and then put it in microwave, put water in it, microwave for about 1 minute intervals twice. So it's 2 minutes.
So when we say parboiled, it means not fully cooking it.
Not fully cooking it. We just once it until it turns pink,
Until it turns pink.
and that's it. Because later
Turning
on,
pink, yeah?
the reason is because we're going to stir fry it later. So we don't want it to overcook it, it becomes chewy and hard.
Right, right, right.
So that's the reason.
Okay, so we have prawns or in some countries they call it shrimps.
Shrimps.
Yeah.
So I'm using prawns or shrimp, and this recipe serves for 2.
Okay.
Okay,
So this is for 2 persons.
for 2 person. And then we have some fish cake, but not like a birthday cake. It's called fish cake.
Fish
because
cake made of fish.
fish paste,
Right.
right? And then it's put into a little mold like that, and usually deep fried.
I see.
Right? So you can buy this from an Asian store too, and then you cut it into little strips.
Right. Cut it into little strips itself. Okay.
Okay. And then we have chives. Now this is not the English Western chives, but this is Chinese chives, which is flat. You can take a look. Yeah? And it's very
Chinese chives.
aromatic.
You know, I've ever made a mistake. I wanted to buy spring onion, I think, but you know, I saw that this was the only thing there, and I bought this. I thought maybe the spring onion was like smaller, but when I bought it back, it was wrong. You know, I basically couldn't cook this. So there was once I wanted to buy chive, but I brought back spring onion instead because both look very similar. I think the difference is in the roots, right?
It is the roots, and also it's flat. And actually this is much more expensive compared to spring onions. And this is usually it's not much being used in a lot of dishes, but usually in the dishes that I know that has been used is one is Char Kway Teow.
Char Kway Teow is one of the
Right.
dishes that uses chives.
Yeah. Mee siam,
Mee siam.
which is
Watch
rice.
another one of our episode. We might just make it for you.
It's rice vermicelli noodles
Yes.
cooked in a tamarind gravy.
Right. Right.
It's almost a similar version of the Thai pad Thai.
Only that it is wet with
It's
with gravy. Okay.
Yeah. And in pad Thai they use this also.
Chives.
Yeah. And in some Chinese cooking, like stir fry with soybeans and tofu,
Right.
it's
Right.
been stir fried, and they use chives too.
Is there a taste or smell to this? Because honestly, I bought the chives back the last
Yeah.
time. I didn't cook it. I threw it
Yeah,
away.
there is a little,
Ah.
so you can taste it.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Right.
So you cut it into little batons,
Okay. Little batons
into
again.
strips. Okay. And then we have minced garlic.
Minced garlic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Minced
So we
fresh
need
garlic.
to mince the garlic.
Yeah.
And what's this liquid that I see in here?
I put some oil in there.
Right, so mince the garlic first, and we add in some oil.
Some oil, some vegetable oil. The reason why I
Right.
do this is usually when you have chopped garlic and you leave it out in the open for a certain period of time, it will decolorize.
Decolorize.
Yeah.
And it becomes dry also,
Yeah.
right?
So when you put oil, it doesn't decolorize.
And there's actually a very nice smell coming out from
So it
it.
becomes like a garlic oil.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Okay. And then we have shallot oil.
Shallot oil again.
Yeah. As you know, traditionally most hawker fairs back in the old days they were using lard. So for health reasons and for our viewers who wants to cook this without using pork,
Right.
so we're using shallot oil.
Shallot oil.
Yeah. And then we have homemade sambal.
Alright, homemade sambal. If you're wondering how to make this homemade sambal itself, do not worry. We will have our recipe for you to also make this homemade sambal. And of course, there's always some trade secrets, and do not worry. We will also include that secret in, because to make a nice sambal like this, you need to really cook it over the pan under low fire for
some period of time.
Yeah, for some period of time. You know, you don't just put it in, take it out, because there's this raw smell.
Correct.
Right.
And also
I learned it from my mother.
and also sambal, usually it's not just for Char Kway Teow. Later on you get to know that this sambal can be used for other dishes, such as nasi lemak.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's basically like the same.
Yeah.
And you just add in different things to give it a different kind of taste.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So this is like the mother base of Asian cooking.
Mother base of Asian
Mother sauce,
cooking.
yeah.
Mother sauce, sambal.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a chili paste actually.
And then what we have in here, in this little bottle, I've mixed dark soya sauce,
Dark soya sauce.
Alright.
Okay.
kicap manis or Indonesian sweet soy,
Sweet black sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet
Okay.
soy sauce.
soya sauce, and lastly fish sauce.
Fish sauce.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they put fish sauce in Char Kway Teow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So those are the three things that you need. That's
Right.
it.
And don't worry, the ratio is in the recipe as well.
Yep. And then obviously you need your what distinguish us, Singapore, about Char Kway Teow, because in Penang or in Malaysia, they have also Char Kway Teow. But what makes us different from them, apart from all the other ingredients that are the same, is that we mix it with yellow egg noodles.
Yellow egg noodles.
Yeah.
From my understanding and my experience in working overseas, you know, some countries I just can't find yellow noodles, so I can just use the rice sticks basically.
You
Right?
could use also spaghetti.
Oh, spaghetti.
Yeah, it is almost the same.
Oh, so we can actually use spaghetti for this.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I did
Make do with what you can.
fusion. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah. Make do with what you can. True,
And
very true.
of course, the kway teow itself, the flat rice noodles.
Right. I think this in most of the Thailand store or anywhere else we can actually find this all over the
That
place.
shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So that's what you need,
Right.
right? And bean sprouts.
Bean sprouts.
Yeah. So these bean sprouts, what I've done is I picked the tail behind.
Right. In Singapore or in Hokkien basically, we call this tau ge.
Okay.
Yeah, tau ge, bean sprouts, right? So tau ge. Tau means bean. Ge, not gay. Tau ge, means like your teeth. Yeah, tau ge. Yeah. So when we were young, you know, our parents will always tell us if we don't eat vegetable, like we don't eat tau ge, we will lose all our teeth. I don't understand why, but it's the old wives' tales. Yeah. And it's a way to make kids eat vegetables. Yeah.
So for these bean sprouts, you could, if you have the time, you can pick the tail behind. If not, just use it.
Right.
But if you think you have the time and you want it to look much more nicer,
So they can basically just cut it away.
yeah.
Okay. You know, the lazy people like me, I will just cut it away.
Some supermarkets do sell the ones that have already been picked, but it will cost 2 times more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because of the labor and the time spent.
Right.
Okay.
And then you would need 3 eggs or 2 eggs, depending the size of it.
Right. Eggs.
Yeah. And cockles.
So for our friends all over the world, if you're not sure what cockles really are, so cockles itself is a kind of like shellfish, right?
Like clams.
It's like in a way, it's like a smaller version of oyster.
Kind of.
In a way, but it's always bloody. It's always bloody, and most recently, you know, cockles was made very popular in Singapore because of something that somebody said. So, with all of you watching our episode today, thank you very much because you have warmed the cockles of my heart. So, for those of you watching, if you know what I mean, this was a very famous phrase by somebody who shares the same name as me. My name is Jason, surname is Lim. That person's name is Lim. Starts with J as well.
Alright. However, some people might not like this.
Chef, I heard that person was told not to use this phrase. I don't know, you know, it was all over the news, but again, cockles of my heart.
For me, I always love cockles. This dish reminds me a lot of my childhood because in the past when I was very young, this is one of my father's favorite dish.
Right.
So
I think some people eat this raw with chili, right?
Yes, in the past. So in the past, my father, when he asked me to go to the market to buy Char Kway Teow, he will always tell me, tell the auntie to put more siham.
Siham, which is
cockles.
Yep. Okay.
Alright. So if you don't like using cockles, you can omit it.
Right.
But traditionally,
It has to have cockles.
You have to
like,
have it.
like for me personally, I don't eat cockles.
okay.
But when I eat Char Kway Teow, same thing. I will ask the hawker to make sure there's cockles inside, or even in another dish, laksa, because when they add in the cockles, there again is a flavor to it. You know, if you remove some of this, it does not taste the same. But like you mentioned, maybe some people are allergic to it. They can't take seafood. Then of course they can always remove that cockles.
Correct.
And in some other countries, they might not even get cockles.
Yeah, you might not even have any access to it. So
Right.
But for the viewers out there who have not tasted what cockles before, well, it tastes almost like liver. Wait, to my
Another thing that I don't eat.
Yeah, it tastes a bit like liver.
Right.
So we're gonna use that also. So practically this is what it is.
Okay, so we basically have all the ingredients ready
Yep.
for us to prepare a dish of what we call the Char Kway Teow. So it's actually fried noodles
Yep.
with black sweet soy sauce.
Correct.
Right? Okay, so if you're ready for us to show you how this is being prepared, do join us and do not go away. So now we are getting ready to show you how we make Char Kway Teow here in Singapore, in Asia. And again, you know, I'm always attracted to hot things. I'm feeling the wok really heating up. So chef, I think you should take your rightful place.
Thank you.
You know, if I were to show you how to make this, I don't know whether it's this Char Kway Teow, mee goreng, or something else that doesn't even exist.
Alright. So
I see you doing this.
yeah, I want to see the heat.
Oh, okay. So that's a way to test. Okay.
So you can see it's getting warm.
Right. It is getting very warm.
And put your
Shallot oil.
So in cooking, you want to hear the
The sizzling sound, yeah. I think especially in Asian cooking, Chinese cooking, Asian cooking, it's all about the sound, the size, the heat.
yeah.
And again, we mentioned this, the wok thing, you know, the flavor of the wok itself, right?
Yep. So you can see it's smoking. You add your oil. So first things first, what you need to do is the chopped garlic. We like to pour the
Right.
garlic in there, all of it. So that's
all of it.
So that's about maybe 2 tablespoons in there.
Okay.
Okay. So
Wait. Let me try. Yeah. I think maybe I use my right hand. It's better.
yeah. Okay.
Okay. Safe.
All right. And one more tip when you do cooking,
Right.
if you're gonna pour anything in a wok, always do it not towards you,
Right.
away from you.
Away.
That's the reason so the hot oil doesn't splash on you. Always do it this way.
No wonder I always get splashed.
All right.
And that's why you see I tend to stand very far away.
Do it that way.
Right.
So remember, fire need to be hot. High. And this is a
And
very
is there a reason just now there was no fire? Turn it off.
yeah, because I was afraid that you might be slow or anything that
Right.
so we don't burn it. Because if you burn the garlic, what happens is it gets bitter.
And I think it's poisonous if the garlic is burnt. No.
It just wouldn't be good.
I see.
So and also you need to always keep, that's why it's called a stir fry. You need to
Always stir it.
stir it.
Right.
So by doing that also chances of it being burned is unlikely because when you do a circular motion in it, what happens? Temperature goes down. So that's why when you always
So
stir.
when you use a circular motion, temperature goes down.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. So once this is in, next, please give me the Chinese sausage.
Chinese sausage.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, all of it in. Okay.
Oh, you see how clumsy I am? I pour it in and I just threw this on the tray. Oh my god. If I ever work in the kitchen, I'm really not sure how many safety and health violations I will be faced with.
Okay, so we stir fry a little here.
Uh-huh.
Alright, mixing around.
Right.
Next, we're gonna add the prawns.
The prawns or shrimp, as you can see.
All of it in.
Okay, all of it in. So, how do people put it? Oh, okay. It's actually difficult because you can't see it dropping down. So if you don't see it dropping down into the wok, the oil won't splash on you.
Yeah.
If you can see it, it means potentially
it
will splash on you. That's a very good way to remember it.
Alright. The fish cake, only the strips.
Fish cake, only the strips. So I'm going to put this.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
It's fine.
Yeah. All of it.
And all of it.
Yeah.
And there's already a really nice aroma coming up from this. You know, a mixture of the garlic, the shallot oil, the Chinese sausage, the fish cake, the shrimp.
Right. So we can show the camera how it looks like.
Right. So as you can see, this is how it looks like.
Okay. Now.
So while we are doing this, we have to keep the fire at a higher level.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
So chef, what's next?
Next. So I've done also in cooking, one of the most important step to it is called mise en place. It's in French. It's a technical term.
Sauté, bacon, what again?
Poulet,
And what's this?
chiffon, this is mise en place.
Mise en place.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting that most of this cooking style or how you prepare or do certain things are all French related.
It's because the French were the first to document everything, such as recipes, techniques, and give names to it. So that's why.
I see. So the French were one of the very first to document recipes and to actually write down the techniques and to give name to how you should do certain things. Wow, this new information for all of us. Maybe you already know it, you know, maybe I don't. But anyway, for those of you who don't know it, a great piece of information, really.
So mise en place, in simple terms, in English, it means put in place.
Mise en place, put in place.
That's
And that's a French word.
Yeah,
So if I go to France and I say mise en place,
you look at you and what do you want to put in place? Because this is a kitchen term.
only in the kitchen. So if I go out on the street and I order food, I'm sitting there and the service staff comes and I'll say mise en place.
They'll call the chef and say, what's wrong with you? What do you want?
Okay.
So mise en place, what it means actually is put everything in place before you start cooking.
So put everything in place before you start cooking. So that to organize
So
yourself.
organize everything, especially for stir fry. Why? You can't have something over here, over there, but then you might get things burned.
Yeah.
That is why
You're right, because the action happens very
fast.
Okay, right.
So that is why I place the ingredients in this position.
Right,
As you can see, we start from chop o'clock
Yes.
and then we go down this way.
Right.
So first, second, third, fourth. Now we go with the chili.
The chili. Right. So we have to add the chili now.
Yes.
So you know, just a piece of information. If you know, correct me if I'm wrong, chef, because now I think I'm also like a chef. So for those of you who do not want to put in the chili right now, you can, because that chili itself, the sambal chili that we have prepared, or some other chili paste that you have already got, the prepared ones, after the dish is cooked, they can still add it in. Right? So if for some of our friends out there who doesn't like spicy food itself or can't take spicy food, but yet maybe their family members like spicy food, they can put this
On the side.
itself. All right.
So we're gonna add all of it. That's about 2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons.
Yeah. Because this is for two portions.
So this is 1, and so normally for one portion is equal to 1 tablespoon. Right. Okay, don't waste the chili because I really love chili. Okay. So what's next?
Next will be what's in the center, which is the sauce.
Sorry, that's the shallot oil. So this is the sauce mixture of sweet soy sauce, black sauce, and
black soy sauce, sweet
sauce.
sauce, and fish sauce.
So if you need to know the ratio of this, do not worry, we have that in our recipe. You're supposed to... Okay. see, amateur, professional.
No, not because of that. The hole is too small.
Amateur,
Okay, we're gonna
semi-professional.
we get half. We put half.
Okay. So the reason to put half is
Is the reason is one. Now is just for the seafood. Then the other half when we add our noodles.
I see.
Okay. So now you see
Right.
everything is all covered, right?
Let's show our friends. Right there, you can see this. I can smell the sundial chili. You know, it smell a little bit salty. It smells sweet. It smells spicy.
So sambal usually consists of shallots, garlic, dried chili,
Right.
shrimp paste,
Shrimp paste. Right.
sugar, salt, and tamarind. Those are basic.
Easy.
Easy.
Very easy. It's just the cooking process takes a long time. Right.
And now we're gonna add our noodles in.
Okay.
Okay. So also another tip when you get
But it's strange. Why are we not adding in the cockles to cook together with the seafood?
this last, right at the end. The reason is we don't want to overcook cockles.
Right. Because I was thinking it's like seafood, meat, and all is cooked, but the cockles we have
Because
to
cockles is best when it's like half cooked.
That's like oysters.
Yeah.
That's why I say it's like mini oysters. But I don't eat it, so I wouldn't know.
So we're gonna put in the noodles. Now, if you do buy kway teow, store-bought kway teow rice noodles,
Right.
if you think that it's very sticky,
Right.
what you can do is you can always put it in the microwave and then zap it for about 30 seconds.
Do we need to put water or anything like this? No. Just leave it
in there.
Right.
And then once it's warm, a little bit warm, then what you do is just break it up. So
Okay.
it doesn't stick.
But when I was in overseas, there was like all those like Asian supermarkets, but the rice sticks that I bought was those dry. Like pad thai, yeah. Yeah, it's very dry and very hard.
Yeah.
And we used to soak it in water to soften it.
Correct.
But when we cooked it itself, it's
becomes
always
soft.
sticking
Sticky.
together. Yeah.
Because you didn't put oil. You need to have oil, just like pasta. You need to put oil.
So
it
when
doesn't
we
stick.
when we soak it in the water, we need to put oil and Later on. No wonder it all comes together like a cake.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the reason. But if you buy the ready one, usually there's already oil in there.
Right.
But because it's vacuum packed, so it's all stick together. That is why you want to loosen it up later.
Alright.
Put it in the microwave.
Okay.
Wrap it to make it warm, and then you can separate it.
So easily we will be able to
Yes.
take it out. I see. We see another French word. We
So-
is yes. Yeah.
Yes. So now you see. Now what you want to do, you don't want to break it up like that.
Oh, why is
You
that so?
want to either fold.
Okay, fold it this
Yeah,
way.
fold.
Right.
This is called folding.
Right.
You want to fold, or you can
On a circular.
circular motion.
What?
Swirl.
Sorry, what's the
Swirl.
word?
SWIRL.
Swirl. Okay, swirl. I know it's not French.
Yeah. And another way is obviously
Right. Okay. Do not try this at home until you're professional.
Yeah.
Right? Because most probably whoever is cleaning up after you, if it is going to be your husband, he's going to really scream. If it is going to be your wife, let alone scream. You're not going to have a bed to sleep tonight.
so now you want it on high heat.
High heat.
Yeah.
Okay.
High heat, and now as you can see, nothing is stuck below.
Why is that? Whenever I cook, like I try to cook noodles or bihun.
Not enough oil.
Because a lot of times it will like stick to it. Then I have a very difficult time washing, and that's why I scrub it. And when I scrub it, I damage my. Yes.
That is why two ways. One is obviously technique. Second, the care of your wok. So the care of your wok usually is you always oil your wok after cleaning it.
I feel painful. Basically, the chef is saying I have no technique. So one of the reasons is because technique.
Yeah, I mean it. Right?
Okay.
But you can see that nothing.
As always, we are always learning new things, right? Yeah, basically, it doesn't stick to it.
Now when it starts sticking, then you stop.
Oh,
Turn off
okay.
the heat. Meaning It's cooked.
It's cooked. So if it is sticking, it means it's cooked. I
When
didn't
it's
know
going to
that.
start sticking, you see, once it's going to start, that means it's going to be
And
cooked.
I've always thought like really cooked. So apparently I can't.
So, quick stir, quick fry.
Uh-huh.
No?
Right.
Now, I would recommend someone to always taste it.
Mm-hmm.
Always taste as you go.
Taste
For
as
me,
you go.
But the thing is, everything is all been pre-measured, so I know how it tastes like.
Right.
But if somebody who is new to it,
Right.
always taste as you go and taste to your preference.
Taste to your preference. I think that's the most important thing
Yeah.
because you are cooking this for yourself, you are cooking this for your loved ones. So the taste for your preference is really the most important key thing, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So now once you see it's almost charred,
Uh-huh.
that's why it's called Char Kway Teow. You see, it's almost sticky.
charred, yeah.
Yeah.
So we should let it burn a little.
Burn a little.
So to have that burn taste and smell.
So once that happens, question just now you were asking, when do we put the oyster, the cockles? Now we put in the cockles.
Right. And the reason why we are using
And we use a little bit of the blood.
we use a little bit of the blood. So if you are like me, who doesn't like to eat cockles or some of this shell seafood itself, you can do without the cockles, of
Yeah.
course.
And then once that happens, turn off the heat because you
Once
don't want
that
it.
happens, turn off the heat.
Yeah. And then add the remaining.
Okay. But if we turn off the heat, we still have the eggs, we still have the bean sprouts that we need to cook,
Yeah.
and the chives that we need to put in. If we turn off the fire, how do we cook those?
Because we're gonna put all this aside now. Aside.
Okay, so we're gonna push this onto the side. Alright.
So
And we are gonna
quick
use this space itself. So
Yeah.
basically we are pushing it all to the side and we are gonna use this space itself to cook the bean sprout, the eggs, and the chives. Right. Can we actually do that? Won't it affect the noodles on the other side of the wok?
Because as you can see,
Uh-huh.
3/4, we are using 3/4 of the space. Like 1/4 is just keeping it warm. So we push it aside. That's how the
Right.
hawkers do it.
Right.
Right?
You know, if I were to fry any noodles, I normally break the eggs and I will put the eggs on the noodle itself.
No,
So-
because the thing is we want it we want to scramble it.
Right.
So 3 eggs.
Okay, 3 eggs.
So eggs.
So I normally do another way.
How do you do it?
Dunk.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
However, by
Yeah.
doing that, sometimes you have shells accidentally in there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you're right though.
So this way we know there's no shells.
Right. Okay, so 3 eggs.
3 eggs.
Mhm.
And then we have your fork.
As you can see, maybe you can see us sweating. It's again, that's why I say working in the kitchen is never easy.
But you have fun. Trust me, you do have fun in there. And the adrenaline rush during service.
Right.
Orders keep on coming and coming and coming.
So,
That's
you
when
know-
you become better in your work because you can start cooking at a very short period of time.
Right.
And that's how you get perfection in time. Alright?
And I really do see the control of fire is very important. You
Yeah.
know, you were switching it on and off.
Yeah.
For me, I'm
And-
always keeping it to one fire and
and
try to
the-
do everything as
And the reason is why is because I'm also talking to you.
Right,
If I'm really cooking, the fire will be straight.
Okay, right.
Because I'm talking to you, I just want
I see.
to make sure it doesn't get
So we
burnt.
need to put some more oil on
Some more
this,
oil.
shallot oil.
Yeah. Okay. Then we add our egg.
Okay. Right. And we let it cook for a while.
Cook for a while. So we want it to be little cooked, and then later we'll break it up, mix it all together,
Right.
add the chives to garnish,
Okay.
and lastly the bean sprouts.
Bean
the bean
sprouts.
sprouts why also last because we want some crunch in it.
Ah.
Yeah.
So how do we know whether the bean sprout is cooked or not?
Usually it takes about half a minute or so.
Half a minute.
Yeah. But you remember that when the hawkers do this, is because they have a different kind of fire.
Right.
You know, so
It's
very
really
fast.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why they do it like really fast.
Yeah.
So every 2 minutes, 3 minutes, they are able to dish out one.
Yeah. Okay, it's done.
Right. Also, we actually turn off the fire when it is still watery.
Yeah. Then
So as not to overcook
overcook it.
Because over here now we are still cooking it in a way.
Yeah, because there's still heat in there.
Right. And it also becomes, a bigger piece of egg because for me, when I put it together with the noodle, sometimes I remember I put eggs, but I don't see it.
So you see, you want it to. You can see all
Even if
those.
you turn off the fire, it's still hot. It's still hot.
And lastly, we add the bean sprouts.
Bean sprouts. Okay. So that's the last of the bean sprouts.
Last.
And when we add the bean sprouts itself, do we need to turn on the fire again?
No.
Or we don't have to?
Don't have.
So we don't have to turn on the fire
No.
when we add the bean sprouts.
If not, it'll get wilted and it doesn't look that appetizing. Because remember, vegetables, we want to eat vegetables as much as not overcooked because we want the vitamins. When it's overcooked, then you don't have all
So
the
when
vitamins.
vegetables are overcooked, it loses the vitamins or the
Yep.
nutrients in the
Correct.
vegetables. Oh, wow.
And
I think it's a very thin line to really know how cooked the vegetable is, right?
yeah, it depends. Some people, because some people can eat this raw also too. But maybe you want it a little bit cooked. So it's up to your preference. But I like it a little bit cooked.
Crunchy.
A bit. And I still want that crunch. I want to cook the crunchy.
Right.
And then, voila,
Chives.
chives.
Okay.
And there you have it.
So there you have it. That's our Singapore version of Char Kway Teow, fried noodle with black and sweet soy sauce. Right?
There you go.
Wow. That's all. We don't have to turn on the fire again.
No, all done.
Wow. Oh, and this is done like in a jiffy. Now I can smell the bean sprout.
So the thing is, you have that fresh. It's not overcooked. You don't want that kind of thing.
Right. Okay. See,
Alright.
that's why he's a chef and I'm the presenter.
So now we're gonna take a tong.
Their home.
Okay. So now we're gonna plate it and we're gonna eat it. So,
Okay.
alright. Now you could. One of the reasons sometimes I tell people why plating is also very important.
Plating.
Plating is
What does
because
plating mean actually?
Okay.
I know plates and all, but plating is
the end product when you put.
it's a process of
That means you put the food on the plate and before serving it. So I'll do two ways.
okay.
One, the hawker way.
The hawker way.
Yeah.
So there's a
Okay.
hawker way.
Is most hawker will do this.
Alright.
Put on the plate.
So I'm really hungry, smelling it. I wish you can really smell this. It smells so good, and looking at it, I'm really hungry. And that's why I'm holding this so tight so that it doesn't drop. Because if it drops, I will have no more food to eat today.
This is a hawker, how they do it.
Right.
And then they sell it to you.
Yes.
Right?
In Singapore, the hawker centers. Right. So you mentioned that there's another way.
Yeah. So this way, as you can see, usually it's messy.
Yes.
Yeah. When
Right.
you're paying $3, $4, $5 for it, and that's
Right.
how it is.
Right.
Now, another way.
Another way to plate it.
Plate it.
Okay.
Now, there's the $3, $5,
And this is the $25 way.
where usually how hotels do it. So
Okay.
you can do this also for pasta.
So when you have guests over, surprise them with a hotel or restaurant way of plating your fried noodle, your Char Kway Teow, Singapore Char Kway Teow.
So you take all the noodles, put it in a,
Okay, a ladle.
and you have a tongs. What you do is you twist it and you put it in.
So basically, we need to put the noodles in the ladle and we twist it with the tongue.
Yeah.
Alright.
when you do
So why
this-
do we twist this?
Why? Because it gives you height.
It gives you what?
Height. H-E-I-G-H.
Oh, height! I was thinking a long French term. Maybe it's another French term for something.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So, when you pay $25 in a top class place, most probably you will get a lesser portion than you get in a hawker because they use a technique to increase the height of the food. That's not true, yeah. You know, people who own restaurants, chefs in hotels, please don't quote me on that, and please don't be angry with me on that.
It's not that it's less. It's just that it's presented in a different way to make it look better.
Ah, right.
And it's not messy.
I see.
When it gives height, people look at it differently.
Right. When it gives height, people look at it differently.
And you can charge it a little bit more.
I know why. If it is $4, it's like this. It is high, the price is also high.
Right?
Right. And yes, this is what I see next. I see a lot of chefs using their apron or using certain towels, and they will wipe off all the messy parts of it. Right. It really looks very different though. This has very nice color combination. Right. Will be wiped off.
And then you can add garnishes like some sliced chilies.
Some sliced chili as garnishes to
Yeah.
give an appearance of red color.
Yeah. So
I see.
So it's not so bland.
Okay.
Right? And then sometimes they also add a bit more oil.
Add a
to
bit
give it
more
a
oil
look more shine.
to give it more shine. Right. So we are done.
Right?
That's it?
That's it.
Wow. So this is the version where you go to a top class restaurant or a hotel. It gives it more height. You pay a bit more, and it definitely looks better.
nicer plate.
Chef, can you hold this for me?
Yeah. Nicer
Hey.
plate. Also, to make it more expensive, what I could do
To
is
make it more expensive. Wow.
I can always put some more.
Alright, so you see what you're paying for. Right.
Right? You can add a little bit more.
To give it some different color contrast. So this is the version in the hawker center. This is the version in the hotels or the top class restaurant, but it's actually cooked from the same wok.
From the same one.
So you can actually do top class food in your own kitchens, in your own homes.
Yeah.
So if you are cooking it for yourself, do it this way. If you are cooking it for your friend, you can do it this way. And to show them what a top class chef you are. So if we have finished cooking, thank you.
Welcome.
I can't wait, you know. Let's try it. Let's try it. I really can't wait.
Yeah, some points for you.
I especially like it because it's very, very spicy. I love it. I really love it. You should really try this at home. Honestly, I'm not going to film anymore because I'm going to really eat this. I'm really hungry. So once again, thank you very much for joining us on another episode of Cook and Eat Singapore edition. So today we have Char Kway Teow for you, and in many other different episodes that we are going to do, we are going to present to you more of the top dishes in Singapore. And we hope you enjoy our videos. Subscribe to us, like our videos, and if you have any comments, if you would like to see certain dishes being prepared, write to us and we will include it in our show. Right? So with this, once again, Chef, thank you very much for making such wonderful food for me always.
Most welcome.
And for friends who are watching this, sorry, I really have no more time for you. I'm going to have my Char Kway Teow. So see you next time. Bye bye.